Hey, welcome to day 61 of the Starting a Software Company in 100 Days project, where we're building Playbook, a tool for managing standard operating processes, procedures, checklists, pipelines, workflows. And so in my past videos, say over the last week or two, I've alluded to a lot of I've alluded often to the fact that we have a lot of UI that needs to be cleaned up. And I've lacked specificity in my comments. And so today I'm going to show you one piece of the UI in Playbook that needs to get cleaned up. So I can come back to this video and show you what the improved version looks like, at some point here, hopefully in the next month. And that is, if we go to the upper right-hand corner, there's this activate template call to action. So one, it just isn't very clear. Given that this is the primary action on this page, it should probably be a colored button. And so that's something we'll need to change. And then, given my UI critiques, I just want to touch on that it's nobody's fault. I didn't spend as much time up front speccing out a lot of these smaller pieces of UI, specifically the interactions. We didn't really do a whole lot of intensive prototyping after the initial designs. And so if there's anybody to fault, quote unquote, fault for this, it would be myself. But I think it's just a symptom of trying to build a usable piece of software in a compressed time frame. And so it's just the nature of the beast here. And so we're going to keep iterating on this, over the next 39 days, but also the next few months. And so, just it'll constantly be improving over time, and will never be done. So just wanted to touch on that. If people think that I'm being overly critical on myself or the developer, I have high expectations, but I do know that we can't get things perfect, and that's why we're going to keep investing in the product. So back to this activate template in the upper right-hand corner. So if I click that, it shows me a search box here. So if I have, why should I have to click into the search box again to see these? It should be in my opinion, it should be a list showing maybe the top, the most used 10 process templates. But if I have, let's say 15 different processes or workflows in Playbook, I think that you would definitely use the search functionality, but it should be a drop-down list that we shouldn't require you to click into the search. That's just an unnecessary click, in my opinion. So here we click, and then let's go and say we're going to do our apartment checkout process. So we click on that, and then if you'd noticed, it activated this activate template button. And so I'm going to get out of this, go back in. You see it shaded here. I click the apartment checkout, and then I click this to activate the template. That's not enough of a that's just not enough of a highlight there between those two states. So once again, I'll show you. We click the apartment checkout, and then the activate template, basically changes color of the text from gray to black. And we need to make that more obvious. I was just recording an instance of this video, and I had to start over because I completely forgot that that's even how we did it. I thought we clicked on the process and then pressed enter to activate it. And so for one, I think we need to move this hiding, maybe over to the left side of the screen. It's kind of in the way of our primary action here. So when I click apartment checkout, having that be an actual colored button, I think would be a much easier way to identify what the purpose of that action is. I like the fact that it's two steps, so if you accidentally click on the wrong one, it doesn't, you don't have to go back and delete the template, the process that you've initiated. And so I like the fact that we have a two-step process here, but I don't think it's obvious enough. I don't think the search, requiring somebody to click on the search, is a great piece of UI. I think we can cut down on the majority of, save most users a click by having this list be visible, say within this outer with card, you could call it, or this modal, basically showing the most popular process templates within that list is how we will build out this piece of functionality. And so just wanted to show you one item that is not the prettiest piece of UI that I think needs to be improved, because we need to minimize clicks wherever possible. Another piece of, it's not necessarily UI, but just the general design and functionality. So this process right here, it is the apartment checkout process, but it shows up as process 3. So that's something that didn't get communicated as well in our initial designs. I had these listed as process 1, process 2, process 3. I didn't specify that those shouldn't be just process and the number, but it should actually be the title of the process. And so it's just another result of not being as specific as possible when laying out your product design, your product specification. And so that's something we'll have to go back and change and make dynamic. It's very easy, but it just goes to show that what was in my head here doesn't necessarily translate to somebody who's working on the product, building the software, reading the specification. And so you really have to be hyper specific when it comes to building software specs. And so with that, I just wanted to show you an example of a piece of UI that has room for improvement. So with that, have a wonderful day. We're going to keep chugging along here. We have a long weekend ahead of us, but I'm going to keep recording videos, and we're just going to keep this process moving forward. And now that we're over the hill here, we have a lot of work to do, but I'm definitely nervous on where we're going to end up. But we're making progress, having fun, and that's all that matters. So talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.